This thing is coming along quite nicely, if I do say so myself. The tube of the cannon, a land ship that is actually amphibious, so I guess land ship slash sea ship, I guess? Weird. Anyway, it's coming along really nicely. In the last video, we ended up adding this stuff to the top. We have this bit right here that conceals a bit of the cannon, and we have this bit which is an anti-aircraft gun. Both of which, kind of useful. Very useful, in fact. Today, what I want to do is add a way in or out of the tank, like an emergency exit right here somewhere. I want to add bedrooms into the internals, and I actually want to do something with the back end right here. It needs to look a little bit nicer. I might also put some walkway sort of things in as well, because I feel like that just makes sense. So, let's go ahead and get straight to it, shall we? Alright, so first thing then is actually the side bits. I want a way to get out of this thing in an emergency. So this, of course, is the internals of the vehicular device, and this is, of course, the outside. So, what if I delete this bit right here? Will we be able to get out of there? The answer is pretty much yes. So let's go ahead and box that off right there. I'm going to go ahead and seal this off kind of like this, and we're going to put a hatch in there somewhere. Hopefully in a place that it looks good, but I don't know. Let's go with that. There we go. We're then going to seal that up to the top, because we can, and that's going to be like an emergency exit. I think that makes sense, right? Maybe. What we should also do is actually have a bit of an airlock in there as well, just so that if this is ever opened, we obviously don't sink it if it's in the water. Because we don't want to sink because someone opens this. What I'm also going to do is actually delete this little bit right here, and this bit right... Actually, just that. We're going to add windows. That's right. Just so that we can see if there is actually water in there, or if there, I guess, isn't water in there. Yeah. Realistically, this shouldn't be allowed to be open if we're in the water, but who knows? Someone crazy might do it. Alright, well, now that we're on the inside then, let's go to beds and see where we can actually add some beds in this thing. Realistically, you don't really want to be anywhere near the engine, so we're going to try and shove a bed at the front. Now, it would be kind of cool to have bunk beds, but I don't have enough room for that. Although, actually, maybe I do. Oh, no, I totally do have room for that. And in fact, we could have an upstairs in here. Oh, yes, because then I can actually put beds upstairs as well. Alright, so we'll have a staircase kind of thing at the front, and then we'll have beds lined up along the inside of the tank. Yeah, kind of weird, but I like the idea of it. Okay, so before we add beds then, I'm just going to shove one there. We're going to go ahead and add some stairs into this thing to hopefully allow it to work. So let's go ahead and shove this guy, I guess, like here, because I want to also add some railings to the sides of these. Feel like that makes sense to do. So we're going to chuck that all up to there, grab this guy and shove this into here. I also need to fix this bit, because something really went seriously wrong here, and I can fix it. So delete that, shove it into there. Alright, cool, and I think that's it. That's all of the fixes done. Okay, so now we can go ahead and delete this bit right here, and sort out the railings on the sides, and then the actual beds can go in. Alright, there we go. So let's go check what that's actually like inside, because it could be pretty weird. I don't know. Also, that looks okay. I might add another one further back or something and have like emergency exits out the sides. And I might do something to make it look a little bit nicer, but other than that, I think it works. Okay, so let's say we're inside the vehicle. We can walk underneath here, go this way, through the track. Okay, that is a little annoying, to be honest, but it is what it is. And then we can put the beds actually up here. I'm going to do it anyway. It's a little bit annoying that we have to walk through the track to do that. But, no, I kind of don't like the idea of doing that. We could do it a different way, though. Okay, so I've got to undo everything that I just did here, except I can do it a little bit differently. So, go ahead and delete all of these. Grab this, shove it into the floor right there. If I grab this, so let's say that one and that one, all the way up to here, I can cut it. Oh, no, I need the next bit too. Hold on. Grab these guys as well. Cut that. There we go. Move it this way and this way. Alright, so far so good. And then we can have a way into it from up here. Yeah, that would work. That would actually work out fine. So let me go ahead and grab it from this side as well. In fact, I can just paste this in. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And then I'm going to go cut the other one. And then we can build this all back to normal. And hopefully that's all good. Alright, cut it. There we go. Build this all back in. Go ahead and color in the floor the way that we wanted to. Excellent. On both sides. Let's see if the tracks actually are in that now. I don't think they will be. I think they'll be covered by the floor. Yeah! Okay. Right, it's working. We're doing things that we wanted to do. And what that means is, if we go ahead and build a little bit of a floor in here, after merging these guys, we can actually maybe even have a bridge here. Oh! Kind of exciting. I mean, it's weird, but kind of exciting. So that goes there like that. I'm going to go ahead and attach some railings to it. Because obviously we sort of need railings, so that goes there. We'll go ahead and chuck one in the middle as well. Railing segments. Bam! And then I guess we can actually just go ahead and paint this bit like this. Yes, I guess. And then these guys like that. And then delete these dudes as well. Okay, because I'm going to need one of these. Okay, awesome. And then I'm going to need it to go sort of sideways, if I can. Like that. And then I'm going to attach all these guys together. And there we go. Now what we need to do is delete this guy. Shove one of these guys into the end. And then the bedrooms could go in here. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lift the beds off the floor. And I'm going to have them sort of end to end. So foot to foot, if that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and delete that. Chuck one of these guys on here like this. And I don't know how many beds we're actually going to be able to put in here, but I'm hoping for quite a few. So, if I then go ahead and grab this guy, over to this guy, and the floor, we can copy it, we can move it this way, and I can just paste it in again. Doesn't have to go all the way to the front, and that's okay. We should then be able to actually attach this to the other side. Weirdly enough, there we go. And another one right here like this. Alright, merge it in. Merge that one in, merge this one in. And then I'm going to grab all of them. So from here, down to here, and the floor. I'm going to copy it. We're going to switch it over, take it to the other side. And I'm going to paste it right here like this. Okay. So far, so good. It's very weird, though. Very, very weird. Anyway, chuck that into there. And this into here. Going to grab one of these guys. I'm going to chuck it on there and here. And I'm actually just going to seal this bit like this. Okay, so far so good. Very weird, but sure. Alright, I'm now going to the outside. I know I'm sort of bouncing around all over the place, but it's kind of what I want to do. So, if I can delete... Oh, no, that's not going to be quite right. It's really annoying that that's not quite right, but... whatever. Okay, so, I want to delete all of these, and I want to put fluid thingamabobbies in there instead. So I actually just want to go across and add a bunch of these. If possible. Yeah, I mean, a bit weird, I suppose. But it's definitely going to make it look a lot nicer. There we go. Alright, so on the underside, I'm going to have to jug all of these in. I should have done it the other way around. Never mind. Alright, paint these guys as we go. Make sure that they stay the right colors on the bottom. And, yeah, paint them all, please. Quite a lot to paint, but we're good. I think that's all of them, actually. That wasn't a lot to paint at all. I was lying. Okay, right, cool. So that works. And I'm actually going to do a very similar thing down here as well. Okay, well, I've gone ahead and added them to the back end as well, as you can see. And now I've decided I'm going to add some more things. Just because, you know, I want it to look nicer. It doesn't necessarily need to do anything. I genuinely just want it to add some random detail to the tank. Yes. Once we've done this, I want to try and make sure that it floats nicer in the water. So that's kind of my next deal. That's what I need to do next. So I think that is what we're going to go do now. Yeah, let's go try and make it float. So currently this is how it floats, which is because I think the barrel pieces are actually very, 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 very heavy. And that makes the entire thing sort of lean forwards, which is not really what you want. So, what are we going to do? Also, does that look green to you? that doesn't look like it's the right color. That doesn't look like it's the right color at all. Is it just where I'm stood? Is this different colors? I'm so confused. It's the same color. That's really weird. It's just the lighting. Okay, but yes, we can't have it sitting in the water like this, because that clearly is not very good. Alright, so I suppose there's a few different ways of working with this. We could just go ahead and add weights to the back somewhere. Whether that's a good or a bad idea, though, is... I mean, it's not really a question. It's probably a bad idea. But I'm just going to go ahead and bosh these in anyway. A few weights. We're going to do it for a lot of pieces. There we go. And I'm going to leave it like that. Let's just see what happens now. It might end up actually going under the water. I kind of wanted that deck to be out of the water as well. No way. That's actually pretty much perfect. Because as soon as we start going forwards as well, this is going to dip a little bit at the back. Hopefully not too much. And that should work. Alright, start those engines! Let's go! It is actually only one engine, actually, but let's go ahead and see what happens here. Okay, so the rear deck does go underneath the water. But it is sailing somewhat correctly. Yeah. Okay. I do feel like the microcontroller is having a few issues with this, though, because I'm really struggling to actually steer this right now, and I don't think it should struggle. I might also actually add some rudders to the back too, and I might add a way of driving it without actually doing anything. So I can switch between track mode and propeller mode. That would make a lot of sense, to be honest. That might be what we do. But for now, in the water, it actually somewhat works. Also, something that I've never done is look down the barrel. Look at that. When the breech opens, you can see the breech opening at the end. And then in a second, there you go, look, the round has come in. And if we go ahead and close the breech, it pushes the round this way. I've never actually looked at it in that way. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can turn the turret around. Oh, it weighs quite a bit, doesn't it? Oh, it does indeed. Also, it seems to struggle with aiming up and down at the minute. It won't actually move right now. And I don't know what's causing that. I have no idea what's causing that, actually. It's struggling to aim up and down. Anyway, fire! Nice. Alright, yes. Why is it struggling to aim up and down? That is a good thing to question. So, I'm gonna go up to these guys. To be fair, it is only being controlled by 2 tiny pivots. But we're gonna go ahead and make them 1 to 32s. And that should make it very slow, but actually very good. Also gonna delete one of those off the end. And to be honest with you, I want to change the color back to like a green. Or maybe we should go with like a different color completely. I think that would be sick, actually. What if we went with like a... What about a gray? Ooh, that's kind of an interesting color. And then this for the deck? That is ugly. I don't like that. What about that? Oh, I don't like that either. What about like a gray deck? Ooh, that is... Ugh. Ew. Maybe... Why is it all looking very green? I don't know whether this is actually my monitor making it look green or not. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think that should be green. She's looking pretty weird now. In fact, very weird. But she's floating quite good. So, there's that. Okay, so you might be wondering, what are you going to do next? Well, I think we should add some sort of thingamabobbies to this. And when I say thingamabobbies, you know what I mean. Or maybe you don't. Spotlights. Yes, spotlights should be added to this. So we're going to have some spotlights pointing forwards, so we can see forwards, obviously. And I might actually just add some pointing backwards as well. Not that, like, we need them, but we could have them pointing backwards like that. Okay. I mean, realistically, don't need them, but they're there. Alright, so something else that I said I would add is actually one of these back here somewhere. Now, I'm thinking in this bit, how long is this? This is 14. Oh, that's kind of annoying, because it has to be an even amount, or an uneven amount. What am I even trying to say? That's going to go in there like that. There we go. We're going to seal it off, obviously, to the top. And I guess I'm just going to add the same thing here, so we might as well just copy it. Here we go. Grab that. There we go. Awesome. Is there anything in the way if I do actually copy it all the way across? I don't think so. No, it won't copy anything else, so we can just copy it, move it backwards to wherever the thing is. Oh, perfect. I put it in the right place. And merge it together. There we go. So we got 2 ways to get out the sides if we need to. Interesting. Alright, we need more stuff on the side, don't we? Like, there's a few areas on this that look very bare. Like this little bit right here. And this huge bit on the back right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and shove some stuff on there. Generally just try and make it look nicer. And then, we'll figure it out from there. I also need to try and figure out the actual cannons themselves. They do seem to be working better now than they were before. So at least there's that, but we'll see. Anyway, aim down. Oh, fire! Oh no, I can't actually... Yes, there we go. The first thing we've actually destroyed with the cannons. Anyway, yes, I need to do those things. Alright, so, what I want to do then is go to... It's not condenser, air, no, heat. Yes, these things. Heat exchangers. So I think it would either be cool to have them go, like, sideways on here, like this. I think 3 of them in a row would be quite interesting. There we go. And then if I could add some, like, separate ones on here... That would be very cool. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. And there's just like a bunch of heat exchangers. Is that cool or is that just really weird? I think it might be kind of weird. Anyway, pipes. We're gonna go and attach a few pipes under here as well. So those guys could go there. These guys could go here. And what I'll do is I'll send them down and up, I guess, like this. And then we'll send them into here. So that goes there. This is gonna go here. And we'll just send it straight in, please. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, so, I mean, it's weird, but that works. Okay, then I want to do something on this bit. Okay, so if I delete this guy from there to there, we can go ahead and grab one of these. Chuck it on there like this. That at least gives it a nicer looking look. A nicer looking look. And then if I can add like another one from here to here-ish. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit strange that we still got this triangle here, but it definitely gives a little bit of an extra look there. What I then want to do is delete these guys as it goes backwards. There we go. And we're actually going to change those for these guys. And I'm going to do this twice over. It gives a little bit of extra oomph to it, which I think is cool. So shove that on there and there. We're then going to do these guys going round. And this piece right here. There we go. And then we're going to do it again just below. So we're going to try and line it up with this guy again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. Attach all these guys in. There we go. Including these ones and all of these guys. And then we're just going to do this going back over like that. And then this one on here like this. And then these guys on here like this. There we go. Bit strange, but I think it'll look much nicer now that we've got those on there. I think that's true, although this light in here is awful. It's always been so bad. Yeah, that is cool. Don't know about the colors right now, but like, the tank itself is looking pretty awesome. Kind of don't like the fact that this is on show either right here, so I'm going to go ahead and try and seal this off, at least like a little tiny bit. And we'll see what that looks like. I honestly think that'll look fine. It's not quite right in terms of fitment, but that's okay. Maybe if I chuck one of these on like that, that'll look okay. And then realistically, there's no way for me to seal this off properly together, so I don't know what to do there. Maybe if I do this actually, delete that, shove it there. We can then just do these guys right here. Yeah, that works. There we go. So I've gone ahead and covered up the front idler wheel just that little bit. Oh, has to poke through, didn't it? It had to poke through. Alright, I need to fix that. Alright, there we go. That looks a little bit better. I still don't know if I should bring it down so it's fully covered. Maybe. Maybe? I don't know. We'll leave that open for now. So, what have we added then? So, we've added exit hatches right here. We've got a bedroom that is in that section right there where the ladders are. There's obviously beds down the sides. We added the spotlights. We've made this thing float. Oh. The game has just crashed, I think. That's no good. I'm changing the color of it again. Oh, look at that. It's like a brown now. If you enter the toilet sometimes. Anyway, so if we go ahead and climb up into this, here we go. Still not really a massive fan of what this bit looks like. Also, I don't know why I'm wobbling around. What is going on here? I'm not touching the keyboard right now and we are just floating. Okay, don't know why that's happening. Normally that happens when you stood on wedges, or like upside down wedges, but no, I'm not stood on wedges. Anyway, we can climb up from here onto the roof, but the thing is, I can't actually get into the turret from anywhere over here, can I? It would be kind of nice if I could climb through somewhere, in order to actually get in. What I might do is delete some of the ladders on the sides, so this guy, maybe just this one actually. If I delete this, this, and this, this, and this, and these bits, we can get ourselves a hatch, and we could climb in through this. Aha! Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. So we can climb in this way. That works. I'm also just going to go and attach one of these guys onto there, and I'm going to do this right here and this right here, because it doesn't actually interact with anything anyway. If we turn the turret, that's not going to hit anything, so that's okay. We can then get into the turret from just here. That makes a lot more sense than climbing back down and getting in a different way. Another idea is to actually add a way into the tank itself from above. So I think I'm going to do that right here. As long as we got room to do so. Oh no, because we can't do that because of this. The track goes underneath all of these, so we'd be climbing through a track. The only place we can somewhat do that, actually, is up here. Because then we can get into the bedroom bit. Yeah, that works. Alright, so grab this. Shove it right there like that. We're obviously going to go ahead and paint this color. And then on the inside, we'll be able to get in. Yeah. Alright, ladders! Give me ladders. Shove them on here. Like that, there we go. Delete this one and this one. We're going to build an actual wall there. And here. And then I believe all of the interior is actually this color. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of this like this. Okay. Okay, bit weird, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and paint that little bit right there like that. And then anyone that is sleeping can either go down into the tank itself, or they can go up into the turret this, or to the outside this way, or they could get round here, down here, up into the turret this way to do any repairs or whatever they need to do. Okay. I guess. Okay, so, we're moving it around outside. I don't like how low this deck is out here, actually, but there's a bunch of things that I don't really appreciate on this. And the thing is, the massive turret is a problem too. What I really want to do is have like a nicer interior. Honestly, I suck at interiors, but I really need to do something here. Don't like the fact that these come through here, but at the same time, I actually kind of don't mind it, which weirdly don't mind them coming through. But what I might do is actually add rows of blocks where these are, just so we can't see them. I think that would make sense. I also want to put a bunch of seats in here somewhere, because that would make sense too. And obviously I need some equipment somewhere as well, so that we can do all of that. Yeah, all of that makes sense, right? I think so. We can then climb up here. You do have to crouch to get into these rooms. We don't have any lights currently on the inside, but again, that is something that we can add. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. We built something cool. Anyway, climb up the ladder, jump onto the outside. Sometimes this is a struggle, isn't it? Ladders. There we go. Close that up. I don't know why it's like moving me around like this. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, we added this as well so we can climb through here to the interior. Even this bit's moving me around. I don't know why. It's very strange. Anyway, back downstairs, back up here. I want to drive it into the water again just to see what that's like. And realistically, actually, I think I need to... Oh, sorry, dog. I just ran a dog. Oh, it's running into me. I think I want to change the microcontroller for the drive, because it just isn't really working. Alright, here we go, into the water again. So I haven't actually driven into the water since adding the weights, but I'm assuming that it will be fine. So in we go. Yes, and floating we are. Okay, oh. Oh, it went really far down at the back there, but we're good. We're good. Okay, so realistically, this isn't really for the sea, per se. I think that it would be for, crossing rivers and stuff like that. Because realistically, something this size wouldn't really be able to go over any bridge. You know, it's too big for that. So, it's not really for ocean driving. It's actually more for crossing rivers. So maybe that's something we should test. Okay, so before we do anything else, I need to change the engine microcontroller. So I'm currently using Mark II, which is this one right here. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to put Mark III in here instead. So let's find a place to put it. I might actually just shove it on the front. Yeah, there we go. Shove it right on the front of the engine. I don't see why not. And then we have to connect all of these together. So there's quite a lot to add, but that is something that we could totally do. So let me do all of this, and then I'll be back with you guys in a second. And in case you want to know what it's called Tank Track Controller Mark III. Okay, so we're inside. We still got the problem of, like, moving around when we're in here. It's kind of weird, but that's fine. This doesn't do anything. Oh, yeah, actually, I haven't connected either of these. It still does the same thing where it likes to twist off to one side. I don't know why that is, but it is seemingly driving nicer. It is driving nicer than it was. So the microcontroller change might actually be okay. Yeah, it might have fixed things. In fact, it does feel like it has fixed things quite a bit. Yes. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're driving it properly now. This is beautiful. Okay, let's try and drift it. Why would you drift it? I don't know. Oh my goodness, donuts. Alright, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and chuck it in the water and see what it's like in the water. In fact, let's try and cross a river with this. You know, this isn't really the river. Like, this is actually still the sea, but let's see how it acts with both like the way up here. I feel like it might struggle to get out of the water, but we'll see. Also, I guess getting into the water, we have to go down somewhere that's not so steep. So, whoa. Chill, chill, chill. There we go. We're gonna go down this way and see if we can get in without sinking. Because I haven't actually sealed it up properly yet. And I don't know whether I will. Alright, we're in the water. Let's go ahead and sail over to the other side. Oh yeah, this feels much better with the new controller. Oh, like way better. Uh-oh! It did just randomly put on reverse, but it is still working. Alright. Go, 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 go. Let's get it up the other side, and hopefully it can actually get back out of the water. It'll be good if it can, but if it does struggle, I kind of understand why. Oh no, it's put the reverse on again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I have no idea why it keeps doing that. It's really strange. Anyway, drive up, please. Drive out of the water. Beautiful. Okay, I mean, it sort of works, but at the same time, it's still very strange, isn't it? It's kind of weird. You know, I think it'd be pretty cool if I had a better way of aiming. At the minute, well, my guns seem to have problems too. Like, when I aim up and down, they are the same as they always have been, but they seem to, like, go crazy, and I don't know why. Also, one of them's raising higher than the other one. It just doesn't really make sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and fire at the hangar if I can. So let's sort of aim that way. Here we go, aim it sideways. I think I'm aiming too far up. Oh, yeah. Oh, the explosions are pretty cool, aren't they? But, yeah, there's something really wrong, and it's kind of annoying me, actually. It's annoying me a lot. Like, a lot. Alright, things need to change here as well, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and delete these, okay? Sorry that I'm bouncing around all over again, but I'm doing it because I want it to be better. So, let's go ahead and grab this to here, because at the minute, it's kind of annoying the way that we actually have to go up the stairs. So I'm gonna bring it backwards to, like, there. There we go. And that's gonna be much better, actually, like, so much better. We can then put a piece on there, we can put a piece on here, delete these guys, it's fine. So, rails, here we go. Let's go ahead and grab it in the right color. Go ahead and grab one of these, chuck it on there and there. Chuck one of them there, and one of them here. Merge this with this. There we go. And fill in the floor so that it is all correct. Okay. And then paint it. Yes. Alright. So now we've actually got a lot more room to actually get up here. that makes a lot more sense. Delete this guy and this guy as well. We're going to go ahead and obviously connect those properly too, hopefully. So, that guy's going to go there. We're going to have an angled piece on this side. Where is it? This guy, there we go. So that's going to go there. Chuck one of those there. Grab this guy, chuck it here. Voila. Okay. The thing is, we can't actually get to the other side if we do it that way. So maybe we even move it further backwards. And then we actually have a walk around this side. I feel like that makes sense to do. Alright, let's go ahead and cut it again. There we go. We're going to move it backwards, literally all the way backwards to here. I'm then going to grab this guy, all the way out to here. We're going to cut that. And we're going to move that all the way backwards to there. Merge that together with that with this with this. Come on. Slowly but surely, there we go, good. And then we're going to grab this guy, chuck it across there again. Grab this, paint it into there. That's all good. Yeah, it doesn't actually mess with anything else, so that's all fine. Oh, it does mess with this piece, but we can just do this. Alright, very good. So now we can actually walk up here and walk around the back if we need to. Yeah. I'm also going to go ahead and paint this piece like that, this piece like this, and all of the pillars I'm actually going to go ahead and do this with. Might be a bit weird doing it this way, but it is what it is. That's fine. Let's go ahead and mirror it on both sides. Paint these guys. Do this one as well. And then we're going to go with this one. Whoa. And this one. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So far, so good then. Bit weird, but yeah, fine. Let's go ahead and paint this one as well, because it needs painting. And then this one on this side. And that's all good. And then we're going to do the floor around these pieces, because I feel like that just makes sense to do. There we go. I'm also going to paint this bit. And that bit. Okay, is there anywhere else that needs stuff like that doing? This bit right here, apparently. That piece. And this piece. Okay. Yeah, that's all fine. I can't really think of anywhere else that stuff needs doing. I might just add this to here as well. And I'm going to do it all the way across these pieces too. Whether it makes sense to do that or not, I don't know. But I think it'll look good. There we go. Going to go ahead and drag it down there too. And we're going to send it to the end the same way. And all the way down here as well. Alright, there we go. All the way to the end. And then I'm going to send it down the end as well. Okay. Oh, and this piece. There we go. Round the bottom, and round the bottom again. Do these bits and that. There we go. Okay. Is that good enough? I actually don't know. I don't know how I want this to look in the end. We don't currently need either of these. That's the only thing that we currently need, but I guess stuff like dials and stuff like that would make sense, and we still need to add all of the lights. Oh, there's a lot more to actually add to this thing than I thought. So what we'll do is we'll actually add a bunch of lights next time. We're going to go ahead and try and figure out why it goes into reverse in the water. We'll try and figure that out. And I might actually do a few different modes, so that we're not actually putting effort into moving the tracks as well as the propellers at the same time. They can be on separate things. I think that makes sense to do. Anyway, for now, thank you guys very much for watching. Sorry that this is a bit all over the place and that I'm a bit all over the place, but I'm trying my very best. Anyway, for now, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.